Blending is one of the most underappreciated aspects of making great whiskey. Of course, you have to have good ingredients to blend, but those who can get the most out of the whiskey they're given are going to have more successful brands. Now, we all think we're master blenders. I've blended a few bottles at home and thought I had something really special and worth sharing. But today, at the Old Dominick Distillery, we're gonna put that to the test because we have 3 contestants that are gonna compete to be the first ever Brewzle Master Blender Champion. We're excited to be here at the Old Dominick Distillery for our first ever Master Blender Challenge. Today, we have 3 contestants that are gonna create and submit a 5-barrel blend to our panel of judges. The rules are simple. We're gonna let each contestant, through a draft process, pick the ingredients that they want to have available for their blend. Each contestant then has 30 minutes to create the best 5-barrel blend using the whiskeys of their choice. However, the blend has to be done in a way that allows us to actually produce 5 barrels. Only 2 are gonna get chosen to be bottled up, and of course, we've got a little surprise for them at the end. Let's meet our contestants.
My name is Greg Jensvold. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a retired Wisconsin State Trooper. Well, Old Dominick doesn't sell in Wisconsin, so although I've heard of Old Dominick.
I'm Levi Patterson. I own 2 towing services. We were out here before, about 2 months ago now, so it was really the first time I ever heard of them. It was a really cool event. Then after that, I've had a lot of their stuff because I found out that their stuff was really good, so actually really excited to be back here today.
My name's Adam, Major Zero for those who know. I have a YouTube channel. Being local here in Memphis, I love Old Dominick. It's their own juice, it's aged here in town, they have a great story.
Feeling good, feeling relaxed, you know, like every other barrel pick. Just gotta come in loose and just ready to have fun.
If my barrel or my blend is picked, I mean, that's living the dream. There's nothing better.
It's really hard to put yourself and your palate on display for others to watch or judge. I don't have to win, I just have to feel like I did the best I could do, and winning would be so much better.
And of course, we're joined by our panel of judges who'll be determining the top 2 contestants that will be produced and bottled. Once bottled, you'll be able to pick up these releases at the Old Dominick Distillery or via the Brewzle Club. But ultimately, you'll decide the winner of the first ever Brewzle Master Blender Challenge. Let's meet those judges.
My name's David Valentine. I'm the lead distiller here at Old Dominick Distillery. I manage the production team as well as run all of product development.
My name is Jill Gamble. I am the proof queen and I will be judging today's blending.
My name's Josh Sorrell, Spillway Wine and Spirits. I'm excited. Like this, actually a little disappointed in that I didn't get to play with all the whiskeys.
Our contestants have various experiences with whiskey, very little experience actually blending it, no experience whatsoever blending it professionally. So we're gonna start with a tour of Old Dominick's distillery, show them around the rick house where these barrels will be chosen from so they know a little more about the ingredients they're gonna be working with.
Welcome to the aging loft. It smells like whiskey. This is where all of our best barrels come from. So it's about 90 degrees right now. Outside, I think it's about 90. It's always about a couple degrees higher in this room. It's always gonna be a little bit more humid. A lot of these barrels get a lot of sunlight. What that does is it's gonna heat the barrel up a lot more during the day. So we get a lot of micro changes in pressure we get throughout the day. But this is definitely where our best product is gonna come from because it's getting that heat and it's getting that constant pressure change. So there's 2 categories that you guys are gonna have the option. One's our high rye bourbon category, one's our Tennessee whiskey category. For each category, you're gonna have 3 window barrels, a river barrel, which is a barrel that came from our facility on the Mississippi River, and then you're gonna have a pre-blend from that I've made for you, which is a 3-barrel blend. So each category, there's 5 options. Of those 5 options, you have 3 window barrels, a river barrel, and a pre-made blend. So this is our middle section. As you can see, we leave those windows open quite often. That has a pretty positive effect on some of the barrels that get staged by our elevator and in this middle section right here. So I wouldn't write off the middle barrels as not as good as the window barrels. They're just slightly different.
So to get up into their long-term storage area where we're able to see the differences in where they are storing the barrels and able to see that sunlight and heat near that window area makes a difference in the nuances in the bourbon. Which ones tend to have the higher proof? Is it noticeable?
So definitely anything that's been by the window is going to have a higher proof. What we're tasting today, I've left the proofs hidden, just because I think with some of these barrels, proof isn't a great indicator and it might hurt you in the long run.
Now that the contestants have had time to familiarize themselves with Old Dominick's whiskey, it's time to introduce them to the available options for them to blend. So you've now had a tour of the rickhouse here. We have taken the liberty of going ahead and pulling some samples of various barrels throughout the rickhouse that are gonna have different flavors, different characteristics that you're gonna be able to use in your blend. Now I'm gonna have David come up here. He's gonna tell you about each and every one of these. You're gonna have to take good notes because in a second, we're gonna have a draft so that y'all can go through and pick which one of these inputs you're able to use for your blend. One of the rules here though is we're doing a 5-barrel blend. So any ingredient you actually choose to utilize needs to be 20% of your overall blend. And that way we don't have any partial barrels, right? If you pick a barrel, a single barrel, it needs to be 20%. If you choose a finished product, it needs to be a full single barrel equivalent. Okay, I'm gonna have David come up. He's gonna tell you about each one of these. Be sure to take good notes.
First thing we're gonna taste is our window barrels. We're gonna taste 3 of these barrels in succession. So this first barrel we're gonna taste is number 447.
They started with a rye first, which was mean, right? When you drink a rye, it tends to mess your palate up.
Oh, you're jumping. It scared you. Any of them standing out?
For me.
Okay. Y'all are not talking, so you're keeping it super close to the vest, huh? Don't give them any advantage.
It is a competition.
It very much is a competition. Yeah. Any of them jumping out at you?
447.
What do you like about that one?
I like that it has a very long finish.
This is the first time I've ever actually written stuff down for one of these.
So this is a blend of 3 barrels that I have pre-blended for you guys that is on the table.
The 3-barrel blends, they were good. They weren't interesting. They were a good base, and I didn't think I actually needed that for mine.
We've got a couple stave finishes. One is an American Oak Double Toast, and then one is a sweeter stave, toasted stave. So those are both high rye bourbon stave finishes.
No. Can't read the hieroglyphics on that, but no.
That's one you were.
No, this one, the one behind it. This one, the one I twisted off was good. That one. Oh, it's good. You should pick it. The original tasting was cool. It's just a lot of whiskey, really fast.
So now that y'all have tried all of these, we have to determine the draft order. How we're gonna do this is by testing your palates. I'm going to pour you a sample of a single barrel, and you are going to have to guess the proof. The closest to the proof gets to choose first. Whoever goes first, second, third, but then we reverse it and third, second, first, all the way through until all of the inputs are taken.
116.5.
I did 128.
117.
The proof is 126.7. So this is gonna be 1, 2, and then third.
That's my life.
But you do get 2 selections in a row here, so it might work to your advantage. You never can tell. You were first?
Bottle 676.
676, right here, 676.
When he took that pick, first I thought, 337.
We are both starting with Tennessee whiskeys. That's it right there, 337. There you go. You get back to back, so you can go ahead and make 2 selections.
I want 435, and then I also want
435, and you want that,
this,
okay?
which is the high rye bourbon double toast.
Okay, so you took the high rye bourbon double toast and bottle 435.
I guess I'll do 447.
447 right there.
Chocolate up front, but lemongrass way prominent. It was an obvious addition for my blend.
I need a second because
Okay.
they've
They've decimated your list. That's how this game's played, isn't it?
214.
214 right here. You gonna pick the Tennessee blend? Yep, that's the blend right there.
I want that. That's
You want this one then?
That's 213, right?
That is 213, yes. So you get one more selection here.
I'm done. I don't want anything else.
You don't want anything else? Okay. It's a bold move not taking as many resources as possible.
Once it got back to me, I didn't feel like there was anything there, so I just might as well not pick something, use something I didn't need. So
I feel like the people who have the blends have a significant advantage in this contest because they have a lot more whiskey to work with. You basically pick one bottle that has 3 barrels. Who did not get a blend? Everything else is yours. I asked who got the blends. I thought Levi had a blend. I thought that Greg had a blend. So I gave Adam all of the rest of the finished products to try to even it out so he has an equal footing in resources. Levi answered that he had a blend. He meant a finished product. So he pretty much was forced to go heavy into the finishes.
It was cool getting a pick back to back. Ended up getting everything I wanted.
Y'all ready? We're gonna pair y'all up with an Old Dominick employee to help guide you, help give you some counsel.
All right, hey, my name's Dion. I'm a distiller here at Old Dominick Distillery, and I'm helping out Greg today.
My name is Maddie. I'm a distiller here at Old Dominick, and I'm helping Levi today.
Hi, my name is Micah. I'm a distiller here at Old Dominick, and I'm helping Major Zero today.
Hi, I'm Paul. I am Greg's brother, and came down here to Memphis with him to help him out.
If I'd known I would have brought my brother. I'd have totally would have brought my brother. But you know, there's any number of people here in town I would have brought to do that. I didn't know we could phone a friend.
So his brother asked if he could be a part of it. Whiskey's not that serious.
If you're really into bourbon and you get a chance to do something like this, it's probably a really cool thing. I hope Levi enjoys himself today.
Oh, I'm excited. Favorite part of the job is blending and tasting whiskey.
I think it's an awesome opportunity for us and for you guys to kind of work with the community here in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, we're gonna win.
Oh, dude, it's not even a question. We got it in the bag.
I'm 100% confident that we're gonna take this home today.
You have 30 minutes from the time we start. So don't open the bottles yet. You're gonna have 30 minutes from the time we start to actually do your blends with an Old Dominick employee. Understand what your resources are, review your notes. We'll get started blending here in just a second. Now we've paired y'all up with Old Dominick employees so that you don't make bad whiskey, okay? We're trying to keep you in some guardrails. You could take their advice, you could not take their advice. It's completely and totally up to you as to what you produce from this point forward. And your 30 minutes that you have to blend starts now.
Here's your 2 bases. First one's a high rye.
I'm thinking like 60% of these 2, and then we'll try 40% of that. If we don't like that, we flop it, you know?
Start here. Keep it simple.
I would do a couple 1-to-1 blends to start. 2 of your bases or whatever you want to start with.
Greg grabbing both of those blends just gave him a lot more tools to play with. Like those are 3-barrel blends, and you could take part of those, and so you just had more options when it comes to blending.
We can always start with, you know, say 50 milliliters of your first base, and then we can kind of dial back on the second one if you're worried about anything getting muted or covered up.
We'll just do 10 and 10, so we'll have a 50-50 of these 2.
I want to put a rye in there, and
I think that's a good start.
446 was my third. I wasn't crazy about the finish on that. But
The finish. So what you can do too is after this, we'll do another 50-50 split. And then if you're not crazy about the finish, then we can change the ratios.
Micah, fantastic. I mean, how great is that guy?
So right on 10, and then you want to dump it in like something bigger, and then we'll
So let's dump it in there.
and then we'll put the other one in that one and dump it in. Cool.
So this is essentially a 50-50 blend of these 2, right? So we'll start there. We'll see how that goes.
How are you feeling now, like 5 minutes into your blending? How are you feeling with your chosen ingredients?
I feel good.
You still think you're in good shape, even though you took the bold approach of only picking 4 things for a 5-barrel blend? Like it's got to be finish heavy now. I mean, I think it's a bold move in general, not taking one of the bigger blends because you just got more resources. We'll see how it works out for it.
I'm confident. Confident, maybe confidently stupid, but I'm confident nonetheless. You want to go in all like loose and relaxed, but it does get stressful. It's a little too hot. It needs sweetness and it needs to be a little bit more mellow.
These 2 together are better than the sum of either one of them by themselves. I knew where I wanted to go in my mind, and I know what my palate likes. Whether or not everybody else likes it, that's to be seen.
That's a 50 of Tennessee, 676.
So it's 676 and 446.
Mm-hmm. And we'll start there. It's a little spicy, but it's not bad.
I think I want the spiciness and I want the cherry there, and then I think I want to add that mocha finish on it. I think that's kind of what I want to go for on that.
Yeah, that mocha is really nice.
To make the cherry spicy, was kind of what we were going for on that. Kind of like a spicy cherry cordial.
This one is going to be the Tennessee at 20 and 10 of the high rye. Of the blends that we had, how much do you add in order to make, not mute the fantastic finish and that rush of flavor that the first 2 barrels gave us?
It's not blowing my socks off, but I mean, it's definitely, so it feels like we lost a lot of the spice with that. I think the spice is what helps the cherry come forward, right? Right?
I missed in the back end cherry that I was getting on the last one.
We were in sync. There was not, we knew exactly what we wanted, and that was good.
10 mils of the 213, and then 5 milliliters of 435, yeah. It's a little better, it's still too hot. So I was saying 60-40, maybe we could bump it down to like 40-60. 213 and 435, but 213 is the majority.
The things that I really like, the brightness about the original has been somewhat muted.
Do you have a preference on the 20 Tennessee or the 20 high rye for now?
20 high rye, 10 Tennessee is my favorite.
All right, so this time I did a 1 Tennessee, a 1 Tennessee mocha, and then the 2 high rye. The spice is still there, but it's not as prominent as the equal parts. But there was a really nice, like, tip of the tongue sweetness to finish with a spicy back end. At least that's what I got.
Yeah.
This one I liked the best. I mean, out of the finishes,
double toast?
I liked the high rye bourbon double toast. We could do 4 of that, then 4 of this, and then 2 of one of those.
Totally.
That 10 Tennessee, 20 high rye, along with the other 2 barrels, it edges out the all high rye.
Yeah,
and
I
let's
agree.
do one more flip flop and do all Tennessee, and just to see. The lemongrass finish, the spicy finish is gone, and I get that more chocolate caramel oak finish. How do I add in that caramel chocolate note and get the lemongrass pepper finish at the same time?
They're both very smooth drinkers.
You would buy a bottle of it. You would be happy buying a bottle of
Oh,
it.
100%.
The first one we did was surprisingly.
What is the
best.
blend?
It's a 50-50 blend. It's it's the 676 and the 446. It's a rye and a.
Those are 2 barrels.
Uh-huh.
You got to have 5 barrels.
What?
It's a 5-barrel blend.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a 5-barrel blend.
I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. There's going to be a lot of chatter about not knowing what the rules were.
I thought we made it clear. I don't know how the actual footage will show. We had these conversations off camera. I'm pretty sure everybody was on the same page, but there's a lot of things coming at you in a competition like this.
You know, you get 5 barrels, each has to be at least 20%. And so with that, I was under the full understanding that we had a 5-barrel blend.
Right now it is 60% of the high rye bourbon double toast, and then 40% of the.
This is a Tennessee high rye bourbon mocha finish.
There you go. 435 was one of the single barrels. It was great. I loved it when we first tried it, but then when we got it over there to do the blend, it was really hot, burned us out, so I ended up not actually using it.
That's finished.
This is the other way around.
Yep, that is 40 double toast, 60 mocha blend. That's quite good.
Think it's better than the first one?
I don't know. I don't like the ends
Yeah, I don't either.
as much.
I think it's the first one.
I think the first one.
I think our winner is 447-337, 1 barrel of the Tennessee whiskey and 2 barrels of the high rye.
I love it.
Oh, this has no mocha, right?
Yeah, this is before the finish. It needs sweet, I think.
I think the mocha is going to do it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop your blending.
Here you go.
Well, hey, do I feel great about it? Not at all.
It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I know we ended up with what we ended up with, so hopefully it works out.
This is your winner right here.
What struck me as most interesting about this group is how different each was with their release. Traditional whiskey, we've got a light finish, and then Levi leaned into a very heavy finish. So we've got 3 very different options here, and that makes it interesting. We want to give these contestants an opportunity to see what they're up against, so we're going to let them try each other's whiskey before the judges get a hold of it.
think it's going to be funny trying to guess your own one, especially after a whole day of, I mean, to be fair, all that. We did try 10 plus bottles.
Whatever A is, I like it.
Yeah, it has heat, but it's like not overwhelming, and it kind of dissipates
Just a
nicely at the
little
end.
Kentucky hug right down the center. Nice warming, yeah.
Delayed hug on there.
The Tennessee hug.
I almost get cola on that.
Yeah.
B dropped off instantly. Like I get, like in the middle, there's nothing there.
I mean, it's very easy to drink.
Oh, yeah.
But it does lack that.
A gave me the better ride, I think, than B.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that
Yeah,
too.
I'd say A is better.
C is almost like everything you wanted B to be. Like it really is. Like it's a lot more rich, like he said. Mouth feels better. Has that Kentucky hug or Tennessee hug, like you were saying.
Well, like my lips are tingling from it.
It doesn't take you on the same ride A does, which is a little brighter and kind of changes as it goes along. When you got three good ones, trying to pick the little things, the real small things between them, you know, which one you want better, right?
Yeah, nitpicking gets hard.
So I say ACB.
ACB. I think
ACB, yep.
Yeah.
It was great being able to see the other expressions that everybody else put together, but it was also kind of nerve-wracking because you may not have picked yours as a favorite.
I guess we're not going to find out. They're not going to tell us.
We'll find out at the end.
So we are here now, and it is judgment time. How do we feel like we did?
I'm hoping we did real well.
Do you think you did real well?
The draft kind of went haywire for me, but other than that.
You think you pulled it out in the end?
I think I pulled it out in the end for what I had.
Adam?
Well, you know, there was a little bit of confusion about the rules, and that's on me, I guess. So we'll see. Ours was a last-minute kind of throw together, so hopefully
it stands out.
Stress brings success. How about that?
Now, the eagle-eyed contestants may notice there are 4 up here. We have a little surprise blend. I took your rejects that you did not put into your blends and submitted my own. 2 of these move forward, 2 of these will not.
If I don't make it, I've got good company, so.
Let's get to judging.
All right, I'm gonna start tasting now. Whoa.
You guys are being awful quiet. We need some feedback.
But you got to give us a second. Like, I mean, we have to taste all 4 before I can talk about all 4.
No, I'm just like,
This is serious business, folks.
your blends were the same. I mean, you didn't. I mean, you did the 5.
It's 5 barrels, and it is just stuff that y'all left.
I already have my number 1, so I assume we'll all agree. Picking a number 2 is harder. Like, I mean, one of these stands out. The other 3 are way more similar.
They're all good. There's one that's like making my lips numb. Like my lips are numb.
In a good way?
Well, I mean, yeah, they're all good, so yeah, but I don't remember which one it was.
Usually there's a clear winner. Sometimes when there's a bunch of samples, there's oftentimes ties. With 3 or 4, usually we have a winner. What are you thinking? Got your heart rate up?
Yes, it does. My palms are sweaty.
Well, it's 120 degrees in this rick house. That doesn't help us any. They're like, y'all need to hurry up. We're gonna melt.
I think we got a clear favorite in the field.
Because for me, there's 2 that I'm struggling with picking the clear winner.
A lot of pressure.
Waiting on the proof queen.
Always waiting on me.
Because there's a clear 1 and 2 so far. Now it's close enough to where you could flip that if you did something crazy like put everybody else's number 1
please
last.
don't do that to me because
That makes me think we have the same 1 and 2, but we have different ones.
Chaos. I love chaos. And for those watching at home, the judges have no idea whose is whose. So it's all completely blind to them. So,
And TJ's rooting for the leftover blend.
I mean, of course, I want the underdog to win. You know.
I don't feel like that's an underdog.
Final tally's in.
A and C to me were the weaker of the four. B and D came out more complex to me. I mean, I favor B in that it's got a oily mouthfeel, it lingers, it's got a good finish. And D was its second.
I actually lean toward C and D. B for me didn't, I liked it a lot, but ultimately it wasn't one of the top two for me. C, I thought had the best nose, like it smelled amazing. And then D, when I first went through, was what I said best taste, but I did end up flipping that.
So my top two were B and D. A was a little bit sharper on the palate. It had some great floral notes to it, some good flavor to it. I would venture to guess that A was more of the stave finish because it didn't have the base to it that I really look for in a solid blend. B and D had great palate complexity. They really, you could tell that there was a lot of barrels blended in there. I think when it comes to B and D, it's more of a flavor preference. And then C was fantastic, but it just didn't have as much complexity and it didn't have as many layers as B and D did.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of a chaos situation here. Jill made a deep impact into the final determination. It was all leaning one way, and she switched it up a little bit here. The highest score would have been the blend I would have done had I got most of the inputs, was actually A. And that's your high rye blend, correct?
40% high rye blend, 20% of the Tennessee blend, and then 2 single barrels in it.
I think you did a fantastic job. Like, I love that blend. I love how the rye spice comes through, but not everybody likes that rye spice.
I mean, it's good whiskey. It's just when you compare it to the next two that stand out a little more.
I just relish the experience. I thought it was great whiskey. TJ and David also thought it was great whiskey. So I have a little bit of validation there, and it just made the trip all worth it, and I had a lot of fun.
And the next one down the list was C.
It stings. I don't like it, but I don't like to lose.
For throwing it together in the last 5 minutes, it's a really good blend.
This is not an excuse, but when we
I
did,
liked it a lot.
when we did it, the barrel that we got was very cherry forward. It was we all think we all wanted that barrel, so it's a great single barrel.
This was actually Jill's favorite.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everybody knows women have the best palate. I mean, come on, it's a great barrel. We just we were trying to make that cherry come forward more, and we had to pick 3 different ryes. And the first rye that we had, he had the 447, I think. If we try, I think if we did those 2 together, I think that would be a great mix of a barrel right there.
So technically by score, it was a tie for first and second. The tiebreaker goes to my blend, B, because the 2 judges had it first and Jill put it last and completely flipped it on me.
Are you kidding me? That was your
That was my B. B was
the leftovers.
The leftover blend.
That's crazy how we all kicked out ingredients and kicked out barrels, and then for him to be able to grab the barrels nobody liked and put them together and actually create something that everyone ended up liking is really cool.
You weren't feeling real confident
No.
at the end of that. You were second place to every judge.
For what happened in that draft and for some of the decisions I made, I will take number 2.
Well, he's tied for 1 in votes,
Hey,
so that's all that matters.
Proud of it, especially with how I messed up the draft and I left some stuff out and ended up picking 2 single barrels that I didn't like, and so I didn't even use them. After all that and still becoming a finalist, I'm real happy.
When we ranked them, how did we do?
You put his second, his first, and then yours last when y'all were ranking them.
At least we're consistent.
Y'all agreed with the judges. Yeah. I mean, you didn't have this one to try. What do you think about this B blend?
Tastes like bullshit.
That's what the B stands for.
No, it is good. It's good.
Now, this is the unfinished. It is exactly your blend, except it's more Tennessee whiskey, more of the low rye bourbon, and so 3 low ryes and 2 high ryes, as opposed to your flipping that. And then this was the heavy finish. This was all stave finish.
And which one was this?
D. So that was all stay finished. So the two that we're gonna bottle up are going to be very, very different options. And now ultimately, it's up to y'all to decide who wins Master Blender. Had a great time here at the Old Dominick Distillery, a hotly contested blending competition. Really surprised that the leftover blend tied for first. It was really, really good. They didn't choose it. That's the luck of the draw sometimes. Now, we learned a lot. We did a lot of things here for the first time, and we're gonna make it bigger and better next time. Now, you can pick up these right now. They're gonna have a handful of them at the Old Dominick Distillery, but you can go to olddominick.com and buy them online, or if you're a member of the Brewzle Club, we will have them available as well right now. Be sure when you grab the bottles to go vote. You're gonna have to put in your email address to vote, but that email address, if this is a successful piece of content, is going to give you the opportunity to win a chance to come compete in a future episode. This was a lot different than our normal videos, a lot more production value, a lot more cost and effort went into this one. Let me know down in the comments if you actually like that, if you would just prefer we do bourbon hunts. We are always trying to push the envelope, do more, do bigger, do something different, work with these distilleries to bring y'all more opportunity to do fun things. And this most definitely was a very fun thing, and we appreciate Old Dominick Distillery for hosting us and allowing us to try to bring one of our crazy ideas to life. I appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. Again, hit the like button if you like this. Leave me a comment down below. We'll see y'all in the next one.